Hello, Girl Gang. This is Amber Vargas, founder and owner of Girl Pursuit, and this is episode 3 of season 2. I want to go ahead and talk about how postpartum and its black hole, how it affects motherhood and it swallows you whole without any kind of warning sign or any kind of, let's say, task sheet, something like a bulletin board of this is what you're going to expect. This is the things that may happen to you. Sure, having some knowledge and resources and education on not knowing what may happen, like you may feel a sudden urge of hormones. You may feel a sudden change in mood. You may feel a sudden burst of energy. You may feel sad, depressed. Sure, everything was there as far as on a bullet points on some sheet I must have read. But if I had to close my eyes and think back 7.5 years ago when my son was born and how lost I was and how unprepared I was. And I have 2 children, so 7.5 years ago and also a little over 4 years ago, 2 different times that I was in postpartum. And my gosh, it's almost like I never recovered fully from the first one, and it trickled on into the next one. And it just festered and became such a huge black hole. And to understand what do I mean by black hole? It's almost like I've said it before on an episode before about motherhood and giving birth to my children, how I was stuck in 4 walls and that's all I could see. And it felt like jail, even though I was not in jail. But it was the continuum of the same day and night, the continuum of the crying, the stress of making sure they're fed, the tabs that are always open in my brain, the worry if what's happening with their skin, if they have like a reaction or eczema or some kind of episode, the lack of sleep, the insane mood swings, literal, the not knowing when I'm going to have a hot cup of coffee or a hot cup of soup next, the feeling of holy shit, I'm never going to get out of this. Holy shit, I'm never going to get out of this. The helplessness, the feeling of how did I get myself here and how the hell do I get myself the fuck out of here? It was dark. It was so dark. Man, if I told you guys about a time where it just felt like it was just doing the same redundant thing day in and day out, and I didn't know if I had clean clothes on the next day or if I did change, and like the days were warped together. The nights were long and my body was aching for my bed. My eyes were swollen because they didn't get the rest they needed. But we needed to be the best moms and provide for our children and make sure that the first 3 months of their lives that we don't fucking kill them. We have to make sure that they're alive. That's our duty. That was our job. That is our job still, but the first few months of their life, up to a year for sure, up to until their, skull fully forms and they can sit up on their own and feed themselves and brush their teeth. My God, all the things that we have to do. Fuck, I didn't know any of it. Of how much anguish and how much it takes from me, my body, my mental. and have gotten through it. I honestly didn't think that that black hole was something I was able to see a light through. It was so bad, y'all, that I remember just thinking the same thoughts, and that's when you get into that postpartum depression, the postpartum anxiety, and the unfortunate times where moms do get that postpartum psychosis. And holy shit, yeah, there's doctor checkups where you go back 6 weeks after having a child and they ask you all these questions. But I'm going to be real with y'all. I remember thinking, like, oh my gosh, if I tell my doctor I really feel like I want to just get away from my kid, are they going to call CPS on me? Is something going to happen? Like, I was afraid. I was worried. I didn't know what the hell to say. I would say, like, I feel okay, but I don't know if I feel okay. Like, is this normal? I don't know if it's normal. Every parent, every experience, every motherhood, every birth, every experience is obviously different. And I'm here to share mine. And in hopes that I can share and shed some light, share my experience and shed some light to your truth as well, to your confirmation of you're not alone, to your feeling of unworthiness. I was there, but I'm going to tell you and I'm going to remind you, you're not. You are worth it. You matter. You will find that light at the end of the tunnel, black hole. It will happen because it happened to me. Why I say this to you is because it's lived experience. I fucking got through it. I got through it. I have no idea if you ask me what was the magic pill or what was the thing that I did that got me through it, but I just persevered. And here we go again, back to staying on brand, girl pursuit, the pursuit of being a girl, to embrace that fire inside every girl. I showed myself, something clicked, it just kept going. I have to do this. That grit in me, I have to keep going. I am going to keep going. I am going to keep going for myself. I'm going to keep going for my children. Fuck, I don't even think it ever mattered for myself until I actually started to think for myself, about myself and self-care. And that's down the line. But in the first few months of that black hole, postpartum, I just wanted to make sure, I needed to make sure that I was okay enough to make sure that my children were okay. They were safe, they were fed, they were clean. However the house looked, it looked. It had its seasons, and I do not regret it. I remember being such a perfectionist, and even now, going back and getting back into the regimen of being me and finding myself, but moments of feeling like, oh my gosh, nothing is going to get done, or there's just a pile of clothes everywhere, or there's toys everywhere, the sink is full and it's disgusting. That too shall pass. I know it's so easy to say. It's so, again, easier said than done, but this too shall pass. So a mother that is going through it, whether it's your first time, your second time, your third time, or even your sixth time, every time it's different. I know that for a fact because I lived through it. This too shall pass. And you will find yourself again. And you will see that light at the end of the tunnel, and you'll find a routine. It will just naturally happen if you just let it. It will. And if it has to be chaotic, and it is chaotic, then so be it. As long as our children are safe, healthy, supported, and doing the things that we need to do. My job is to keep you safe. My job is to keep you fed, right? My job is to keep you clean, well bathed at least. Some days the hair doesn't get washed, and that's okay. Unfortunately, that word, no one's going to die. Nothing's going to actually happen that's going to be of a severity. And damn, that black hole was so lonely. That black hole felt like it was just swallowing me, and I just kept going deeper and deeper. But something inside me also at the same time said, F this shit. I'm not going to let it take over me. And I want you to also not let it take over you. I know I have a storytelling podcast, but I also would like to give my advice and also some takeaway for someone that is listening, that is out there, that feels helpless and hopeless, that there is. You have to think of it in a way of, this is just a season. It does not last forever. It does not. I promise you, it does not. Again, because of lived experience. But when you're in it, it is brutal. And it feels like it's never ending. The advice that I can keep giving and keep advocating for is, if you could find some time for yourself, even if it's 5 minutes, closing that bathroom door. Yes, while your children are crying outside, but you know they're safe because the baby gets up and they'll be all right. If you could just sit there and weep, sit there and put your head down and between your legs and just weep. Let it out. Let those feelings ride. Let them flow through you. Again, preaching back to what I've always said. If you don't go through it, you can't get over it. We got to go through it. And it's so sucky. I know. I was there. But I have done that. I have done the moments where it was so dark and it felt like it was just the same thing day in and day out. And something eventually started clicking. The child got bigger. The child was a little more independent on themselves. The child grew into being an amazing, flourishing little human being. And you did that. I did that. I did that. And now I'm finding myself. I was in a really black, deep hole even just till last year. My daughter was 2 turning 3. My son was 5 turning 6. And it's just the routine of it was just like so bleh. I don't know how else to like describe it if I had to describe it, but I know that this can become something so much bigger than what it really was. It didn't define me, y'all. It didn't define me. In that moment, I thought it was going to define me, but it doesn't define me. I am finding myself. I'm finding my rhythm. I have my business. I have community that I'm trying to gain. And in order to gain that, I have to put myself out there. And I'm doing it, and it makes me feel good. I feel good, y'all. There are days that I don't feel good, and that's life. It's with life, ebb and flow. But I feel good, like it's coming back. Like Amber's getting her spark back, her fucking fire back. That flame is flaming. And I am so immensely grateful for the experiences, for the feelings, for the thoughts, even how bad they were, to get me to this point. Because it has taught me that this is life. Like, oh shit, you can be at the bottom, rock bottom. But you still, the only way you can go is up. The only way you can go is up. So I'm embracing that fire inside me. I hope that some mom or some woman, some girl that is getting ready to start a family, that wants to procreate, and it doesn't even have to be through pregnancy, through IVF, through adoption, and you're getting ready to do that part of life that changes you, that shakes you, that always will have such an impact on your life, that dark hole, that black hole, you will get through it, because it's just a learning curve. It's you learning your new self. It's you learning to be your new identity, your new you, your new title, mom, your new title, mama, your new title, mother, mommy. Yeah. If I can do it, you can do it. And that was my take on the dark hole of postpartum. If you are not able to do any kind of self-care, try to have some support system around you. Even if that husband that doesn't want to take on the diaper task or something, delegate. Tell them, direct them, have them do it. They're your partners. They're also had that child. Just to have that moment, just to have that quiet 5 minutes, 2 minutes to sip that coffee, even if it enrages the other person. You did it. You do it for yourself. Do it. There was many times that I didn't do it. There's many times that I took on the load on top of load on top of load, just so I didn't have to be a burden, just so I didn't have to feel like, oh, but this is what a mother should do. A mother should do this and all the things. I was wrong. I have to delegate tasks. We have to switch off. We have to even it out. Yes, our load can be 80%, theirs can be 20, but you have to be able to speak up so you can get a little bit of yourself back. It's the only way out of that black hole. So leaving with y'all, girl gang, leaving you guys with this, that this too shall pass. That black hole doesn't have to get bigger if you choose it not to get bigger. You can do this. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You've got this, mama. From one mama heart that, my gosh, my heart aches and really pulls at heartstrings when I hear stories or see another mom just being a mom, doing motherhood. I see you, I hear you, I feel you. This is just a season. My name is Amber Vargas, founder and owner of Girl Pursuit. On to the next episode. Take care, y'all.